You boys.
Well, hello again. This will be the first entry in a hopefully long series called Dawn of Video Games. Now, my idea for this series is to give praise and thanks to the old and almost forgotten video games that pioneered the industry all those years ago and preserve them here forever, or for at least as long as there are humans. In the series, we will take a look into the grandparents of modern gaming as well as some forgotten gems. For the first game, I've chosen a title that's near and dear to my heart: Raptor: Call of the Shadows. A 2D vertical shooter from 1994 developed by Cygnus Studios and published by Apogee Software, which was later released by Mountain King Studios as a native Windows game and even later on in 2010. It was re-released by Dotemu as Raptor: Call of the Shadows 2010 edition. The game was first released for MS-DOS, as Windows was but a baby back then. Ah, simpler days. I was but a baby chick still in my parents' nest, only 6 years old. My dad got a 386 PC as a gift from a friend, and as he knew nothing about computers, he gave it to my older brother and me. It was the first time I found out that games could come in color on something that wasn't my TV. It came with a few games installed, one of them being Raptor. It was love at first sight. Small kid, check. Action, check. Explosions everywhere, check and check. And let's not forget, lasers. First time I saw a laser, first time I heard what a laser was. But enough reminiscing for now. The story in the game is almost non-existent. Basically, you are a mercenary flying a high-tech plane, or Raptor, working for a corporation known as Megacore, for whom you must eliminate its competitors. Now, while doing research for this video, I've stumbled upon a curious channel owned by one Scott Host, the creator of the original game. Apparently, Scott has been working on a full remake of the original game for some time now. It will feature modern visuals, voice acting, new weapons, and many other things. I'm going to put a link to a teaser trailer he released a couple of days ago so you can go and check it out for yourself if you want. Now, I have just learned of this, and as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm hyped as F. I really thought the game was forgotten, but I guess it still has a faithful following, which is well deserved. The original game was released as shareware with only the first 3 levels being playable, which is what I had. Some months later, my brother brought a floppy disk, God, I feel old now, and it contained the full version of the game. Oh, the excitement. The game was structured in 3 episodes: Bravo, Tango, and the Outer Regions, each of them having 9 levels. The first episode was easiest, and the third hardest, of course. Each episode also featured its own enemy types as well as maps. Once you did a full playthrough of one episode, the game would automatically increase the difficulty. For example, if you started on the lowest, Rookie difficulty, it would take you up to Veteran, and with every subsequent playthrough increase the difficulty until the Elite. Once you beat the game, on hardest difficulty, it would reset to the lowest, allowing for infinite playthroughs. It also had a rudimentary character creator, meaning that you could change your ID picture, which was also somewhat of a novelty at the time. The game was among the best of its time, having good action, great animations, a wide array of weapons to buy, shields, health upgrades, etc. It was also a looter shooter somewhat, as you could get some weapons as enemy drops. If you already had the weapon, you could sell it for money and get a different one. Although, in the end, you only need a few weapons once you get enough cash. The weapons were very different from one another, one simply being air-to-air missiles, another being air-to-ground missiles. But it also featured an array of EMP weapons, auto-targeting lasers or machine gun turrets, and some others, But the best weapons in the game were lasers, in my opinion. Most expensive ones, too. So, you kill enemies and get money for the kills. Try not to get your planes damaged too much, as repairs could set you back in your grind. The thing that made the biggest impression on me was the fact that ground targets didn't simply disappear as was the norm at the time. Oh no no no. You could see the fallout of your mayhem immediately and imagine all those bad guys, the ones that survived, looking hopelessly at the remains of their facilities as you triumphantly surf over their heads in the sky going for their bosses' heads. Now, in my defense, I didn't speak English back then, so I had no idea this was just a war between corporations. When I eventually got killed by the enemy, I would ask my considerably older and more skilled brother to be my champion and play in my stead. After he got tired of saving my ass, and in his defense there was a lot of that going on, he gave me the ultimate gift. The gift of knowledge. In the form of cheats. You see, cheat codes were very common for games back in the 90s. All you needed to do was type in with capital letters set s underscore post equals castle, and you were done. You get invincibility and all weapons at your disposal. Now, for a small kid, this was a ton of fun. Nowadays, I prefer to use the old ways of grinding and dodging bullets. Also, even without this cheat, you could simply press backspace at any time, and you would get the second strongest weapon in the game, and your health would also be restored to full. The only downside of this cheat was that you would reset your money back to zero, which was actually easily fixed. Now, remember how I said that you could sell duplicates of your weapons for cash? It just so turns out, if you press backspace several times, you'd get the second most powerful and expensive weapon per each keystroke. See, back then, games were made to be fun for everyone. If you wanted to grind, then you could grind. If you just wanted to have fun, here are some fun cheat codes. Not to mention that the devs also used to put Easter eggs. For example, if you set the date on your PC to one of the devs' birthdays, the regular enemies would be replaced by monkeys, cows, and other creatures during gameplay. Because why the hell not? The games were just designed to be fun. Now, I know there were other games of this type, but only one stood out to me besides Raptor. The other contender for my favorite vertical shooter was Tyrion, which I will also do a video on at some point. But to this day, I couldn't tell you which one is better since they're both so great. It is only because of the outdated graphics. I don't know if I would like this game as much if I first saw it today, as nostalgia can be a powerful influence when discussing things from the past, but to my eyes, the game was and is perfect. Now, if you're at all into retro games, I highly recommend you take this one into consideration. I believe it will keep you entertained for some time. The game is available on Steam for $5, but it is also available through Scott Host's Patreon as a beta, which is an improved version of the game with added particle effects and improved visuals overall. So I'd recommend, if you wanted to get it, go and get it on the Patreon page. The price goes as low as $3, and you would also be supporting the development of the new game at the same time. The new version will be released across all platforms: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Android, iOS, and maybe even the Samsung fridge too. I mean, why should Skyrim be the only game up there? I can at least finish a couple of missions in Raptor while I'm in the kitchen. All I know is that I'm looking forward to seeing a revival of this type of games, and this game in particular. What do you guys think? Did you ever play the original game? If you did, do you have any fond memories of it as a youngster? If not, would you ever consider giving it a go? Please leave a comment down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, sharing, or subscribing. Or even all of the above. I am He Who Knows 10,000 Games, and I'll see you in the next one.